Alright, so check out my girl, and she has a sew-in. So I'm going to show you the process that I took to get this look for her. Now, in preparation for a sew-in, I always thread my needles beforehand, and I usually have about 6 to 10 needles threaded because you want to work quickly. So stay tuned and I'll show you the process of how we got this look. So I'm getting ready to blow out her hair, and I'm not going to do a hard blow dry. This is kind of just to get some of the water out and make it a little bit easier to manage when I'm braiding her hair. So here we're just going to go ahead and get her blow dried and get ready to start with my braiding pattern. She has a lace closure and she wants to wear a middle part. So I'm going to braid the hair with 2 braids down the side, and that's where I'm going to secure the closure so that it lays flat and she doesn't have to worry about using any glue or anything. I am using small braids because I do want the sew-in to lay as flat as possible, and then I'm going to do a horizontal braid in the back. That is where I'll lay the first tracks in the back. And I'm also going to be using some braiding hair to take some of the stress off of her hair, since we are braiding a very small braid around the perimeter. The hair is very weak around that area, so I am adding some braiding hair just so that it'll take some of the stress off of her hair. And this is a basic braiding pattern. I'm going to braid all of the hair on the side, and you will see that I'm going to be picking up the braid and including it in so that all of the braids will come together, so it'll just be one braid at the end. And I am using the technique that I saw on TT Wells. You can find her on YouTube. It's TT Wells or either TT Does It All. She does lots of sew-ins. I love her work. And so I am actually using the technique that she used for doing a middle part, especially with those 2 anchor braids in the front, which is what I'll be using to secure the closure. And like I said before, this is my girlfriend from way back when. We go way back to our days in the military. So you can see here we're just kind of yucking it up, chit-chatting, doing a little bit of hair while we laugh and talk. And that's pretty much how it goes most of the time when she comes over. You know, we do a little bit of hair, but we do a lot of talking and laughing. So we have everything braided, and the goal was to use very small braids or small enough braids because we want everything to lay flat when we start to do the install. So I got everything braided, and you can see how I got all of the braids connected in the back. I used the pickup method where I just braided everything into one braid and connected them. I had one single braid left out in the end, and then I just sewed that down with the needle and thread. So everything is all secured and it's flat, so when we do the install we should not have any bumps or anything like that sticking out. So I install the closure first, and what I do is I lay that on the hair where we want the part, and I section out a little piece in the front, and I sew that closure down to those 2 anchor braids in the front. And when I finish sewing it down, you won't be able to see the thread, and it covers up, and then that way the closure can lay flat. You don't have to worry about using any glue, and it's secure. I also use 2 separate needles on both sides of the closure because I want to pull the closure taut, and I want to make sure that it is secure and that it lays flat. So you'll see the string on the other side where the thread is hanging because I have 2 needles, and I am sewing down each side, and then I'm going to go in and sew the back of the closure again. So that's going to hold it, make sure that it's tight and that it won't move. And here is just the basic sew-in, absolutely nothing to write home about. I did my first track, I laid it underneath that horizontal braid, and then I'm going to lay the next track on top of that, and I am going to be using the fold over method. So I am just going to keep sewing in all of the bundles until we have everything included. But again, this is just a basic sew-in, nothing to write home about. Now these bundles have been used before, so this is the last time that she says she wants to use this set of bundles. So we are going to do a little bit of a cut today. So everything is installed here, and we're going to cut. I was hoping that she would kind of wear it shoulder length, but she didn't want it shoulder length, so we went shorter and gave her a bob. But again, she said she's not going to use this hair again, so we were free to cut. So this is the finished look. Thank you for watching. See you next time.